In the vast, endless desert, where golden sands stretch beyond the horizon and the sun blazes with relentless fury, there lived a wise elder named Salim. Known across tribes as the keeper of secrets, he understood every whisper of the desert, the hidden springs, the treacherous dunes, the sudden storms that could swallow travelers whole. People journeyed from distant lands to seek his guidance, for he held the wisdom of generations. One scorching afternoon, a young man named Zaid approached him. His eyes were bright with determination but shadowed by a deep desperation. "Master Salim," Zaid said, his voice earnest, "I have heard legends of a hidden oasis, deep in the heart of the desert, where the water is pure and palms stretch endlessly. I have tried to find it, but I have failed. I wish to reach it, to prove my courage and bring honor to my tribe." Salim smiled gently, his eyes as calm and still as desert pools at dawn. "The desert does not yield its secrets to the reckless," he said softly. "Patience, observation, and respect for its ways are the keys. One who rushes, driven only by ambition, may be lost forever among its sands." But Zaid, burning with youthful fire, did not truly hear the warning. At the first light of dawn, he set off alone, carrying only a skin of water, a handful of dates, and the dagger at his side. He was ready to conquer the desert. The first day was a trial by fire. The desert was merciless. The heat scorched him by day, and the freezing nights pierced him to the bone. Vicious sandstorms raged, forcing him to dig desperately into the dunes for shelter, the world a swirling vortex of sand and wind. At one point, gasping for water, he spotted a distant shimmer on the horizon, a glimmer of water, a promise of life. Hope surged through him. He ran toward it, his legs burning, his lungs screaming for air. But as he drew closer, it vanished into thin air, a mirage. A cruel trick of the light. Zaid fell to his knees, humiliated and utterly exhausted. The desert was laughing at him. Just then, from behind a towering dune, an old figure emerged, draped in white robes that blended with the sand. His face was shadowed by a hood, but his voice carried an undeniable authority. "Why do you chase illusions?" the stranger asked, his tone calm yet piercing. "I seek the oasis," Zaid replied, his voice raspy with thirst and defeat. "But the desert is endless. It deceives me. The oasis is not found by chasing visions," the stranger said, pointing a weathered finger toward the horizon. "Listen to the winds. Follow the flight of the birds. Observe the signs in the sand. Only then will the desert reveal its treasure to you." With those words, the stranger turned and vanished back into the dunes as mysteriously as he had appeared, leaving Zaid alone with his thoughts. Taking the mysterious stranger's advice to heart, Zaid's journey transformed. He stopped fighting the desert and started listening to it. He began to observe the world around him with a new focus. He noticed that certain birds always flew toward the north at sunrise, their path unwavering. He felt how the wind shifted subtly as it passed over hidden valleys, carrying a different scent. By interpreting these small, almost invisible signs, he discovered things he'd never seen before: small underground streams where he could replenish his water and rare patches of shade beneath rocky outcrops where he could rest from the punishing sun. He learned to ration his water drop by drop, to conserve his energy, and to read the patterns in the sands like a map. The desert was no longer his enemy, it was becoming his guide. During this time, he encountered a band of desert nomads. At first, they were suspicious of this lone traveler. But Zaid, humbled by his journey, earned their trust. He helped them repair a broken camel saddle with skillful hands and shared his last few dates without hesitation. In return, they shared their knowledge. They told him of a mysterious tribe that guarded the oasis, a tribe known as the Keepers of the Palm. They warned him that these keepers tested all who sought the oasis, granting access only to the worthy. One evening, as the sun bled across the sky in hues of orange and purple, a monstrous sandstorm struck without warning. The sky turned black, and the wind howled like a demon. Zaid was buried beneath the swirling, shifting dunes, losing his path, his bearings, and nearly his life. Trapped in the suffocating darkness, he felt a surge of panic. But then, he remembered Salim's words: "Patience and wisdom are as important as strength." He calmed his breathing. He recalled the lessons of the stars and the position of the sun. Using this knowledge, he began to dig, slowly and methodically, in the direction he knew was up. Exhausted but alive, he finally clawed his way back to the surface as the storm began to subside. And in the calm after the chaos, Zayd discovered something incredible. The storm had revealed strange markings in the sand, symbols he'd never seen before. They were ancient tracks, left by travelers long ago, all pointing toward a hidden canyon. He realized the desert communicated in signs, not just through nature, but through the history etched into its very surface. He followed the symbols carefully, his heart pounding with a mix of fear and excitement. He was close. Finally, after days of struggle and learning, Zayd arrived at a narrow passage tucked between two towering dunes. The air changed. The wind, once harsh and dry, now carried the unmistakable scent of water and green, living things. His heart raced with anticipation. He pushed through the pass, and as he emerged on the other side, he stopped, breathless. There it was. An oasis unlike any he had ever imagined. The water shimmered like liquid crystal, reflecting the deep blue sky. Towering palms swayed in perfect harmony with a gentle breeze, their fronds whispering secrets to each other. Colorful birds, jewels of the air, sang songs of welcome from the branches. It was paradise. But Zayd was not alone. A group of figures stood waiting for him, clad in flowing robes and wearing intricately carved masks. The keepers of the palm. They did not welcome him with open arms. Instead, they confronted him, their stance silent and imposing. They were here to test him. They tested his courage with trials that pushed him to his physical limits. They tested his patience with riddles that seemed to have no answer. They tested his wisdom with puzzles etched into ancient stone. He faced hidden pits that appeared from nowhere, navigated fast-flowing streams that threatened to sweep him away, and solved complex challenges that required not just bravery, but cleverness and true humility. He had to prove he was worthy of this sacred place. After he had successfully navigated every trial, the leader of the keepers stepped forward and removed his mask. He bowed his head low. "You have proven your heart is pure, your mind is wise, and your spirit is unyielding," he said, his voice filled with respect. "The oasis is now yours to know. But remember this, its true gift is not the water you drink, but the wisdom you carry away with you." Zayd returned to his tribe a changed man. He was no longer the arrogant youth who set out seeking glory. He brought back not just tales of a hidden paradise, but the profound lessons of the desert itself. He taught his people that courage without wisdom leads only to ruin, and that patience and understanding can overcome even the harshest trials life throws at you. The stories of Zayd's epic journey spread across the desert, passed down through generations, inspiring countless young travelers. The elders would often say, "Strength opens the path, but it is wisdom and patience that reveal the treasure at the end of it." Zayd, once a daring youth chasing a mirage, became a wise and respected leader guiding his people with the deep, enduring knowledge that the desert, much like life itself, rewards those who are willing to listen, to observe, and to endure. Thanks for watching. If this story inspired you, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more tales of wisdom and adventure. See you in the next video.